Today we're going to be talking about Kevin O'Leary, and let us start right where the obvious is, right here. This means that Kevin can smell who's got talent. It's just a knack that he has. He's good at it. And he understands who has ambition. He knows what it takes to get to the top without stepping on other people to get there. So yes, that is Kevin O'Leary for sure. Since we're talking about things that really define who Kevin is, let's talk about this right here. Let's just pull up the word modesty. Right there, it just says that Kevin is a modest person. Do you resonate with that for Kevin? Mr. Wonderful. So, what this actually means altogether, though, is that Kevin understands at this really deep level what's correct for him behaviorally, because it will keep him safe. And what's correct for him will be correct for others. So when he is behaviorally acting himself, it's going to keep him safe, and it's going to keep the people, places, things, and experiences that aren't supposed to be kept in his life. This behavior is just going to know to let it go away, because he's going to be able to keep what's healthy safe for him. So Kevin really does have this alertness in him to what will be in the moment right now, what's correct for him. His body will move towards something if he likes it. His body will move away from something if he doesn't like it. I wonder if you can ever see that with him when he's doing his TV shows, when he's engaged in an item or a brand that really hits him, because he's smelled the talent, he sees who's ambitious, and he's able to help them through their development at their beginnings, because he is this competitive person. It's his shining light out into the world to have this symmetry, to be able to do that. Now, the abysmal. Kevin has the ability to just jump into the darkness, the abysmal, without knowing what's going to happen, because it's correct for him. But he might have the capability of saying yes too often, even when it hurts. So as a person with such monetary power, he might be saying yes a little bit more than he should. Sometimes he might kick himself in the rear for it. I wonder if he ever speaks about that, because he surely would feel that. He is a person who does understand, caring for the tribe and caring for himself too. Now this is a channel of struggle, a design of stubbornness. And I love this for him as well. It's not that he's here to struggle. It's in his purpose in life to penetrate this world and help the struggle. He is a design of being stubborn. Is he a stubborn person within his modesty? But he isn't here to struggle. He's here to be the fighter and to know what's worth being risky for. He knows what's worth struggling for, and he'll be stubborn because of it. Maybe he needs to be told something about 10 times before he actually hears this, because he's in his own unique, empowered direction when he's acting his true self. Now, there's a lot of this inside of him. This is about being provoked or provoking. Does he do that? But he's the troubleshooter. He's responsible. And he knows when to disengage. That's a great fuel to have, is knowing when to say no. So maybe this channel counteracts this one. He knows when to disengage, because just more research is needed. Kevin is good at keeping still when needed. He is able to sit down and do a task that some others may not be able to do, because this inaction allows him to really assess the situation, and then when he moves again, it'll be correct for him. So he's able to stop, disengage, to hop into the abysmal when he chooses. Because he knows that within this sense of self, this healthy sense of self, that his actions will lead him through the struggle that is worth fighting for, so that when he is driven, he can transform anything. And I have a product in mind. That's what I'm talking about. Because he's good at starting those cycles. Not necessarily good at finishing those, but that's why there's a team, right? He has these ideas. He has details about those ideas, but just because he has details about ideas, could be correct, could be not correct, but the wisdom within that is that there's a lot of ideas and there's a lot of details around, so maybe all of them could be correct or not. His profile didn't stay consistent throughout the day, and he was actually a generator as well. That's a lot of jargon. But what we need to really know about Kevin is that when he's like, or like moving in towards something, it really is for him. And then from there, it's for him to make a decision if that's a yes or no. Because just because he's interested in it doesn't mean he has to say yes. He knows when to disengage and what's healthy for him. But just because he moves towards it, yeah, it does mean that it's correct for him, but it doesn't mean that he has to own it or be it. Let's talk about the environment that he needs to be in order to be successful. So he needs to be in an environment that is of conditioning, or I'm going to catch something, So I'm going to condition you with my word, or I'm going to be conditioned by your word, or, let's say that easier. I'm going to catch a good dinner from you. I'm going to catch a cold from you. Or I'm going to ask you to dinner, or maybe catch cold from you. Just because there's a transmission to the collective. That it just means that there's a transmission to the collective, or from the collective to this person. So, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily good or bad. It's just like information. And this person is the person who is the face of that information. So, and they're going to be seen. They're going to be seen doing their thing. Whether they're doing it good or doing it bad, people are going to have a comment about it. So, yeah, he needs an environment where an exchange can be had. That's not necessarily the keynotes of what these are, but that's the best way I could explain it right now by being distracted by chat for half a second. And then right over here, the type of people he needs to be around in order to be successful are role models. So those people who have been through the trial and error, those people who have licked off the wounds, and those people who do know what has come and what is coming. Those are the type of people that he needs to be around in order to be successful. All right. We could talk about Kevin O'Leary for much longer. And we could talk about the fact that my house looks like it's in mid-renovations, and that's because it is. But if you want your own experience like Kevin O'Leary, this quickie, it's $50 US dollars. But my name is Katie Lynn. And if you want the full experience where I tell you about all the things and leading you into the purpose of who you are, then that's $250. I realized I forgot to talk about all these things here, but that's okay. Thank you for watching. My name is Katie Lynn. Eat.